What's up guys, Crafter here, and today I'll be teaching you a few things you definitely need to know about your Minecraft server. I'll provide timestamps in the description and here on the screen so you can easily get to the part you want to learn about. Just look over there at the timestamps and, pause the video so you can read them or whatever, and go to the things you want to know about. If I teach you something new in the video, please drop a like and share my video with someone who might be interested in making and working on their own Minecraft server. Anyway, let's get into it. First thing you want to do is open up your server folder. Mine actually has a bunch of other servers in it, so I have a server folder with servers in it. But you're just probably going to have that single server folder. Anyway, if you right click and edit the run.bat here in your server, I use Notepad++ to edit these. But the XMS and the XMX is how much RAM your server will start with and the max amount of RAM it can use. Make sure that the max is always so like the XMX, that's the max. Make sure that one's always the bigger number. If you don't know how much RAM your PC has, you can actually just right click your Windows icon in the bottom left of your screen and select System. This will bring up a bunch of information about your computer actually, and it will tell you how much RAM you have. 1 gig of RAM is equal to 1024 megabytes. For example, 2 gigabytes is 2048 megabytes. Or alternatively, you can actually just set it as the letter G instead of using M, and then you can just put like 1G, 2G, 3G, etc. to set the amount of RAM. Alright, how to make yourself op. So if you want to make yourself op, you're just going to have to run your server. And this window here that pops up is called your server console. It essentially is the server, right? You can see everything from errors to the players chatting and the commands that they type. And whether you're logged into your server or not, the players will be able to connect to it. And you can even talk to the players that are on there. And you can use the server console to do other really cool commands. In game, you don't actually need a slash before typing a command in when using the console. You just type in the command as it is, like the word by itself with no special thing in front of it to show that it's a command. Whereas in game, you would have to type a slash in front of everything. You can just type help into the console and then hit enter, and it will show you all of the available commands. You can pause and read through them if you want, but the important one here is the OP command so that you can access all of these commands and more while you're playing on your server instead of using the server console. Just type OP and then your Minecraft name, and you'll now be opt in game. Always type stop into the console when you stop it so that the server properly shuts down and saves. That way you don't lose any of your hard work. If you look in your server folder, you might see this cool folder called World. In this folder, you can actually find every player's file. However, it does use your UUID. So to find out who that is, simply go to a UUID looker up our website. I don't know the correct way of saying that. And type in their UUID and it'll tell you the Minecraft name so you can associate the correct file with the correct player. Now, back to the overall folder, make sure your server is stopped, by the way. Now, if you take your world folder and then you copy and paste it in your server folder, it will actually create a backup of your world at the last save point. So the last time you typed like save all in the server or the last time you stopped your server, it would just copy the world from that point. And then you can name it whatever you want, for example, world 1, and then that's just a backup for you. If you look in your server.properties, again, I use Notepad++ to look at all my files, but you just right click and hit edit and you can see that the world name is set to world. So any folder that isn't specifically the exact same way, case sensitive and everything, if it's not spelt world, it'll not read that folder as the world. So if you back up your world and then delete the current world, you can actually run the server again and it'll automatically create a new world. And then that would be the main and only world. Simply delete the world, download any world you want to, put it in your server folder, and rename it to world. It's actually that easy. Alright, how to change all of your server settings and like plugin settings and mods and all this good stuff like that. Now, before we edit any files, I highly recommend that you get Notepad++. Again, I'm recommending this because you'll see why. It makes the format look a lot better with the files. And with Notepad, everything is just It's all over the place, and usually it's on a couple of lines when it's supposed to be like 20 lines, and everything's just mushed together and it looks gross. Anyway, first things first, let me show you how to change your server settings in case you want to turn on or off PvP or the whitelist or something like that. And if you don't know what the whitelist is, it's a list that determines who's allowed to join your server. So if you turn it on, only people that are on the whitelist can actually connect. Right-click your server.properties and you'll see all of the different settings that you can change. Just change the false ones to true or the true ones to false depending on what you want on and off on your server. And now we're going to go over your mod and plugin config files. Open the folder titled config, and in there, if you have mods, you'll see all the different mod configs, and right-click any of them and then edit with Notepad++, and you can change all the different settings that are inside. On a vanilla server with plugins, you'll find the config files inside the plugins folder, and then you can just right-click any of those, and then same thing, edit with Notepad++, and you can change all the settings that you want. Well, that is the end. So if my video helped you out at all, please like and subscribe, and then also send this to a friend that might be interested in making their own server, or if they already have a server and they might want to learn a little bit more about it. I hope this video helps teach you a thing or two. If it does, let me know down below. And if there's anything you'd like to know, also let me know down in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.